Joe, can you explain what happened today?
We set basically the final and definitive trial date, which is now January 21st. That was a firm date. Things were moved in part because Rocky has a benefit concert in Bangkok that he's committed to in late November. In part because we're still dealing with some issues on discovery. So we all agreed. I mean, then there's the Thanksgiving holidays in December. We have Christmas holiday, so I think everyone just decided it's best to do this in January. It's a firm date, it's a real date, and he's really eager to get this done and get this behind him. So not really looking to push this off that far, but it's standard stuff that happens when you're doing trials, and we'll be ready on the 21st, and he's looking forward to putting this behind him once and for all.
How are you feeling about the evidence in the case?
I feel great about the evidence. I've always felt great about the evidence in the case. I know intimately, obviously, we were ready for trial in 2 weeks, so we're good. We're ready to go, and I'm confident in knowing the evidence that he will be vindicated. And this has been a burden for him, his family, his 2 young children. Obviously, he has that's a massive responsibility. But he's a terrific guy. He really is, and he's handling this as well as any human being can handle it. And he's ready. He's ready to face this head on. We're ready to face it head on. And he'll be okay when this is all said and done. Okay.
So is there any concern, with a lot of people knowing ASAP Rocky's name that could affect, reception of the trial?
Now, listen, I've tried a lot of high-profile cases with a lot of people with big names and whatnot. And it cuts both ways, and at the end of the day, it's the evidence that's going to dictate what happens here, not the name of the defendant. So that doesn't faze me. And of course, some people will know him, but at the end of the day, I have to make sure they understand that in the United States of America, whether you're famous or not famous, whether you're rich or you're poor, whether you're popular or not popular, the rule of law is what applies in a court. And if the rule of law applies, and they apply the rule of law properly, that's all that you could ask for, and whatever his name is his name. It doesn't matter. And I'll make sure the jury understands that. So.
Do you think there's any chance we might see Rihanna at the courthouse, or is she going to leave him?
That's a good question, Meghann. I certainly not my call. And I don't know. That's a family decision they have to make. She obviously is a very well-known, very important person. She also has 2 young children that I think she wants to shield from all this, and she takes care of. She's got obviously a lot of professional obligations on her own. I tell you, she loves and supports it. That's without question. I've seen that live and in color. But whether she's going to be here or not, that's their call. That's between Rocky and between Reed. And that's what they'll decide. Again, that to me is completely irrelevant. What's going to matter in this case is what happens inside the that courtroom with the evidence that we're going to provide, and the evidence that we're going to challenge.
Yeah. So we've got a new judge in the last couple months. I saw the big gavel back there. What do you think of him? Is he?
I think he's. I mean, listen. Obviously, it's not my home court, but he seems to have the greatest judicial temperament. He has got a terrific reputation, Judge Arnold. I think we're very, very fortunate to have a judge like this because his reputation is one of a very smart jurist, which really is what you want. A smart jurist with a good judicial temperament, which means he has a human side to him, right? Yeah. Some judges forget they're human beings when they put on a black robe, and they treat lawyers with a sense of hostility. That's not necessary, especially when you're doing something as intense as a trial where there's tensions already. By all accounts, both the prosecution and defense lawyers that I've spoken to say Judge Arnold's straight down Broadway, super intelligent. No nonsense, but also is not someone to make your life difficult just for the purpose of making your life difficult. So I think we're very lucky to have a judge that's going to call it like he sees it. That's all you want. That's all you want in a judge.
I mean, just the fact that he agreed to delay the trial, was that new today, or was that in the works before this? So he was fine with Rocky having to go to Thailand for a concert?
Yeah, I mean, he was, it just happens in situations like this where you have people who are in this field. Those commitments are there sometimes. And, it happened between the last court appearances. I found out about it just recently, and so I brought it to his attention as soon as I found out. And look, if he said no, Rocky would be here on November 12th. Obviously, I'd be here. But he was very accommodating, and that's something I appreciate because, again, this job we do is tough enough. You know, we have someone's, you know, life at stake and their liberty at stake certainly, and the tensions are high enough. And when you have someone who can just, you know, have a little human element to you and a little human element to the fact that this tension of a trial is tense enough, it makes things easier. So I think his ability to let us do this and let Rocky go do this benefit concert is very telling about, you know, the type of judge we have. No favors or anything, but just I think it was a nice and very much appreciated move.
Yeah.
One more question about Rihanna. The judge said she's welcome to come. You know, she's such a high-profile person that can be disruptive, but he said she's welcomed. What did you think of that?
It was nice. I mean, it's an open courtroom, right? Rihanna can come, and that guy right over there playing soccer on that field can come as well. So it's, you know, it's a public courtroom. People are welcome to come, and she obviously has a very important interest in this case. Whether she will or won't, that's a decision between that family and only that family. So, but again, it was nice that the judge made it clear that he would. And what he was basically saying is he'll accommodate. That's obviously we'll have to have different measures if she comes, and we understood what that meant. But it was nice that he went out of his way to welcome her, and I think again that just shows the type of person he is. So we're very, very happy.
What kind of different measures?
Security measures, obviously. You know, when someone is that high profile, they come into a courtroom, it's going to create a scene, put it mildly. The court personnel needs to be ready for that. So that's what he meant. Okay, guys.
All right.
All right.
Thanks so much.
They're two of the most famous people in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
They're up
Me?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.